Hi diddly ho, frienderinos. Today, we're going to be talking about rebranding. So, I'm rebranding myself as a teddy bear. I now identify as a teddy bear. So, if you enjoyed today's video, please do leave it a like and subscribe if you want to help support me and my channel. Thank you so much, guys. Let's get on with today's video. Oh, thank you for the support on the Shane video, by the way. I really appreciate it. I thought I was going to get a ton of hate, but instead, just well-rounded arguments from each side, and I really appreciate that. So, we're going to be talking about Onision and how he's rebranding himself as a character, because he's made some videos recently, one of which we're going to be talking about today, where he's done a really good job, but he had to go and ruin it by what he said at the start. It's basically an apology video, but because of the way he speaks at the start, I'm instantly like, I don't know about that, mate. So, yeah, we're going to be diving right into that. Right into it. Right in there. I've also got a Visage playthrough coming up soon. Visage? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a horror game I've been waiting for 5 years or something, since PT was cancelled. Whenever that was, maybe that wasn't 5 years ago. I think it's worth the wait. Maybe not as good as I was hoping, but it's decent. Anyway, let's roll that bloody intro. So, I've briefly spoken about this whole character thing before, but I just want to go into a little bit more depth on it. So, the first video I want to talk about is a video where he's apologizing to several people. I'm going to talk about the intro, and then I'm going to explain why there needs to be more to this apology. So, let's check out that video now.
Hello there, I am Character, otherwise known as Onision. Formally. I changed my name because a lot of people were taking me very seriously as the character I was playing, and that is not cool. It's not cool to be held accountable for things you do as an actor.
Okay, let me stop you immediately. What are you talking about, Onision? Genuinely, what are you talking about? So, again, you're blaming your audience for taking what you say too seriously when you've been playing this character. Except, newsflash, you haven't been playing a character. You're telling people you've been playing a character, but that doesn't just suddenly mean that you were playing a character. Whilst I completely agree that a lot of people on YouTube are different to their normal selves when they're behind a character, they're not playing an act. You're not like Filthy Frank, who is clearly a million times different from the person that he is. This is your pathetic idea of a get out of jail free card. I'm sorry, no, you can't just say that you were a character and suddenly everyone will be like, oh, it was all an act. It was all an act, was it? Yeah, that sounds likely, mate. My God.
As an actor. Like, for instance, if I played a serial killer in a movie, I would be very shocked if people were like, you're a murderer, if they saw me as an actor. Just walking around the streets or something.
Again, with the patronizing smile and your horribly condescending tone, it's frustrating watching your content because of how much you look down on people that are right. It's insane. No, you can't do this. You can't do these insane comparisons. You always do this. Every time I'm speaking about some of your content, you always do these ridiculous comparisons that just don't work. You haven't been playing an act. I'm sorry, you just haven't. To compare yourself to an actor playing a role in a movie? No. Onision, you've done terrible things. You've done really horrible things to a lot of people. You have to be held accountable for that. You can't just say, I was playing an act, so it's pretty ridiculous that you guys are holding me accountable for something that isn't real. Wow, you can't blame your audience like this, buddy. You just can't. You do it all the time. I even had a comment on one of my videos fairly recently saying if people stopped sending Onision pictures of their underage bodies, then he wouldn't get in trouble. It's like, what? So it's the people's fault for sending him pictures that he reviews, almost as if he has to do it if you send it to them. No, this is ridiculous. You need to be held accountable for the horrible things you've done. So, one massive thing I want to talk about, which I didn't talk about last time, is that, Onision, if you were just playing a character, if this was all an act, you would have said this ages ago. Say I did this. I've done loads of terrible things, and I start getting in some serious trouble, and I start losing a lot of my fans. I would think, oh crap, I need to tell everyone that this has been an act this whole time. But instead, you don't mention it at all because it's not true. And then you just bring it up out of nowhere in an attempt to gain people back on your side because you're probably worried that your channel is going downhill. It's insane. It's so insane, man.
Insane. Pretty insane.
I feel like with YouTube, a lot of the same respect should be given just because we are all human. You know, the guy who plays Thor is just as much human as me. You know what I mean? Anyway.
What? Yeah, but Thor doesn't go around rating underage bodies or being horrible to the people that he's with or being a bully to people on the internet. Thor doesn't do that, by the way. You do that, and you don't do it as an act. So it's ridiculous that you're saying that you need to be respected like Thor would be respected. What are you going on about? Okay, let's get down to some brass facts. For the rest of the video, he basically apologizes to 3 people. That's Billie, Shiloh, and Adrienne. And good. Absolutely bloody brilliant. 10 million points for doing that. It's well overdue. But 10 million points for doing that. Good lad. I really respect that you actually have done this. But you have kind of done some stuff to some other people, actually. By the way, which you might have forgotten about. Do I need to mention Shane, that you've bullied for many years now over something that was out of his control? You've had this grudge with him for a long time, even though the original reason was that he didn't meet up with you in LA because apparently I've heard that he was going to a family or family members or a family's friend's funeral, in which case you can't hold a grudge over something like that because that's insane and that makes you look like a terrible person. But I don't know if it's true about the funeral. But what I do know is that he didn't meet up with you, and it could have been a completely understandable reason, and that was a very long time ago. So for you to bully him repeatedly in several videos about his weight, something he is incredibly conscious about, you need to apologize for that, mate. You really, really do. You really, really do. So, let's talk about the original video in which he was discussing becoming a character. Let's check it out.
I'm not me because there's no way I could be myself. Like I've been saying for a long time, you know, I'm real, I'm honest, I'm all that stuff. I feel strongly this way that I am trying to be as authentic as I can. But the problem is that when I make videos, there's a direct incentive to be crazy. There's a direct incentive to be intense, opinionated, to ruffle feathers because that means more attention. There's so much that is programming me subconsciously to not be me, to not be authentic, to be something exaggerative.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I get that when you're behind a camera, you may act differently for the sake of creating a more effective video. That's fine. But when you start saying stuff like, it's been programming me subconsciously, then I'm calling bullshit, because no. You are the one in control of the decisions you make. And in the last video, you're describing it as if you're not yourself in any way, and you're completely playing a character. Were you playing a character when you screwed over Billie and Shiloh? Were you playing a character when you bully Shane repeatedly? Are you playing a character when you rate teenagers online? No! Obviously not! So when are you playing a character then? You're playing a character in your comedy sketches. Do people get annoyed with your comedy sketches? No. Because they're the times when you're not exactly speaking your mind. And this is the thing, me and a large majority of my fans used to enjoy your content mainly because of your old comedy sketches. I thought you put a decent amount of effort into them. Some of them were quite funny. As I've got older, I can now see that they're not that funny at all. It's more immature humour, but I get how younger viewers could find it amusing. And it's fair enough. I don't mind you doing that. And when you started this new channel, you started doing that again. And I was like, hey, maybe there's going to be some sort of redemption here. But nah. When you start blaming your viewers, saying it's their fault for misinterpreting you being you as a character, it's ridiculous. And you're saying how real and genuine and authentic you are, but you can't be playing a character and being the most honest YouTuber at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. You can't be the most honest YouTuber if you're playing a character, because you're not giving your own opinions in that way. You're giving the character's opinions on things. So you can already see how what you're saying doesn't make any sense.
So I'm shutting down the Onision Speaks channel in the sense that I'm not going to be uploading new videos to it. Same with the Onision channel, same with Oh Bro.
Yeah, because you've totally done that, haven't you? The thing is, Onision, your mind is still thinking like it did a while back when you had a massive fan base. If you start a new channel now, you will lose the fact that you have 1.7 million subs and you will gain several thousand, which is exactly what happened. And you could clearly see that the coin was running out, so you just didn't bother with it and you continued to make content on the Onision Speaks channel. You can't shut down all your channels, move to a new channel and expect you to be able to still live your luxury lifestyle when considering the main thing you care about is money. And I don't think that's harsh saying that, because you can see that with Onision. He very clearly values money over most other aspects of his life.
I, from this point on, just want to be a character, because I have basically always been a character and I haven't even realized it.
What? That doesn't make any sense. You now want to play a character instead of playing a character. But this time you know you're playing a character, whereas before you were programmed subconsciously. What are you... Huh? This doesn't make sense, though, does it? You haven't thought this through. You want to somehow manipulate people into not hating you, and you just didn't think about what you were going to say, so you're just spewing random nonsense, which you very frequently do in your videos.
It's like being on a date with a girl.
Here comes a ridiculous bloody comparison again.
Right? Are you, on your first date, are you being true to yourself? Are you really being you? No, because you're not in your pajamas, you're not eating ice cream, you're not watching, you know, SpongeBob, whatever. You're all dressed up, you're all dolled up, you got your makeup on, you got your hair. That's not you. That's maybe you a fraction of the time, but it's not a representation of who you really are.
Right, this is a bad comparison because you can't... The comparison doesn't work because that's only the case for certain people. Every time I go on a date, especially when it's the first date, I be as much myself as I can, because otherwise you have to keep up an act every time you see this person. I also think it's completely untrue that you can't be yourself online on YouTube. You absolutely can. Some of my favourite YouTubers are very honest, genuine, true to themselves people, like John Wolfe, like Mr. Craven, like Markiplier to an extent. I try to be as true to myself and genuine as possible.
From now on, I just want to be a character, to not have this Onision identity, but to instead be Chibi Durf, Emo Charlie, you know, Dale. I want to be all these things on a new channel, so there is no more Greg. There's just all these things, and that way I can express opinions and so forth that aren't even necessarily mine. And people could be mad at the characters, but they can't be mad at me because I don't even know who I am.
If it wasn't obvious that this was his intention, there you go, guys. He's literally sitting here saying, I'm gonna play a character so you guys can't be annoyed at me, because the opinions aren't even mine, they're just the character's opinions. You can be annoyed at the character, but you can't be annoyed at me. That is unbelievable. I can't believe you actually said that. And then you finish it by saying, because I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, what? This is so ridiculous. It's silly. It's very silly, Onision. And you've been trying to shove this into your channel now, because you very frequently start the video by explaining that you're now a character, etc, etc. But then you go on to just speak like your normal self. So this is such a crappy way of trying to deflect hate, because for this to make sense you have to now actually play a character, but you're not, you're just calling yourself a character, a very different thing. So it's so stupid, man. It's so insane. Anyway, that's all I really have to show you today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video from Mr. Physic the Teddy Bear. Sorry the lighting's changed so much, it's got very dark whilst I've been recording. Just before I go, I have something to share with you. One of my streaming buddies, who is a massive supporter of this channel, has made a video recently on mental health. I want to get it out there because I think the message in it is very important and could be very beneficial for people. It goes into a lot of detail on what you can do if you think that there may be something up with you, because I know a lot of people find it very hard at first knowing exactly what to do, knowing where to get help, or knowing whether or not you need to seek help. So I think it's a fantastic video. The link is in the description. The channel is called Skull's Lace and it's by Tiny. So make sure you guys check that out if you're interested in it. And finally, thank you so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed today's video, please do leave it a like and subscribe if you want to help support me and my channel. This is Teddy Bear Physic signing out. I'm not a bear anymore. Crap. See you in the next one.